Chuck Oliver hosts the Chuck Oliver Show, syndicated across the Southeast middays and then on the afternoons, or in the afternoons in Atlanta. 680 The Fan, Chuck and Chernoff. What's up, buddy?
Just pleased to be here again. And, good to see you. Boy, has that not taken on a lot more literal meaning. It really is good to see everybody because, the fact that it got canceled last year, everybody knew that was coming. I knew it would be hosted this year, Media Days would. I didn't know what it would look like. I've been really surprised, and I'll tell you, I was 100% wrong on this. I thought with them, moving the circus, the zoo outside, I thought that wouldn't matter at all. You're still going to have coaches do like a lot of networks have done. Hey, we're not traveling our broadcast teams because of the pandemic. Now it's 2021. They're like, hey, we saved a lot of money. Let's keep saying because of the pandemic, we're not going to send people. I thought programs, schools were going to use that as the excuse to not come down. With the fans outside, everybody – I had the best day I've ever had. I had all three coaches. I had every player I wanted. I had media experts. I had Richard Cross on. I mean, it literally –
one of these things is not like the other.
You do definitely have to separate Richard Cross from media experts. I get that.
And so it was a great day. And like I said, the coaches came down. I think they actually went the other way. Without the circus out in the lobby, they were like, I think we can move about a little more freely. And it was a really productive day. So I was surprised. I was wrong.
This is one of those events that generates complaining because I don't know if you know about this. People in sports media tend to complain a little bit.
Oh, I've never heard more people complain about the quality of food you gave me. Like, here's some free food. It sucks. Well, there's a mall full of restaurants out there, Birmingham's a big city.
And yet that seems to have gone away because everybody is, to your point a second ago, genuinely happy to, it's like, let's do it.
Yeah, and I'm not going to get real heavy or deep or anything, but I have been flying through life, chest out, bulletproof, everything, awesome. Well, and then this little thing around the world called the pandemic, it's perspective on 50 different levels. And so, like I said, I'm happy to be here. When you say, good to see you, it takes on a lot more meaning now. So,
give me your perspective from a different spot than where we are on Ole Miss football and Mississippi State football.
All right, Ole Miss football, I'll start with that. I will give Lane Kiffin all the credit in the world, and I don't know that he was this literal about it, but with no on-campus recruiting last year, the only recruiting you're going to be doing was on your TV screen for 3 hours. And he was like, all right, let's make it look fun. And boy, did it. And I've heard so many people, oh, well, that's just Lane. That's his system. And I was like, I've seen Lane put in like 5 different offenses in 5 different places. I think he showed up in Oxford and he was like, all right, that's a fun-looking tight end. All right, that quarterback looks like he can do some stuff. Let's run it this way. That's the impressive. Like Ole Miss fans, what you saw last year, the even more impressive part is – that's just one of the things Lane can do. He can do that in Tuscaloosa. He can do that at FAU. I'm the biggest Lane Kiffin fan there is. And then let's talk about Jeff Lebby. I mean, there are just so many levels of how fun it is. Then there's defense. And I'm telling you, if you had just 11 guys that were 98.6, could you fog a mirror? All right, well, you're on the field last year getting your varsity letter. And that's kind of what I saw. Now, here's the thing. If you were losing games, like when you lose 13-10 or 13-7 or whatever, you look incompetent. When you lose 51-45, you look, hey, man, if we can just get a little better on defense. Like, it's literally the same spread, but you look, did they even practice? But you score a bunch of points and lose. So I think they can get better on defense. And I'm going to tell you, you know why it's, quote, easier to get better? Here's how you play defense in modern days. I used to coach. And I was like, well, game situation, personnel, all that's out the window. Hit the quarterback. And just hit him and hit him and hit him. That's your only chance of playing, quote, great defense. I'm after good defense, and I'm after situational defense. I mean, in college, y'all saw this last year. You give up all the points you want between the 20s. Get in the red zone, I got to stop you. That's Ole Miss's big. They don't have to be great on defense. Oh, we got to be good on – no. Be good enough and then be situational with it. With Mississippi State – for some reason, that looks even more challenged than Ole Miss because they all have their different boxes to check and eventually get down to and beat LSU and beat Bama because the goal is to get to Atlanta. At least it's supposed to be. And, I would ask those questions of those two programs. The goal is to get to Alabama. If you ask, Brian Harsin or anybody at Auburn, Coach O, anybody in Baton Rouge, Saban, whatever. Jimbo, what's the goal? Got to get to Atlanta. Got to win our division, win the conference, win the national championship. I don't think if you ask, if you got people in the room of truth in Oxford, in the room of truth in Starkville, what's your goal? I think it would start with, we'll beat those other guys and, all right, a Florida Bowl. a January 1st bowl. I mean, you're an Ole Miss guy. What's your real goal for the program, do you think?
I think that's reasonable. I mean, I'm not sure that Lane Kiffin looks at it that way.
He wouldn't say it. Like Mississippi State and Mike Leach, room of truth. Nobody like that Wonder Woman lasso. Like, what's the real goal at Mississippi State?
I don't know. You want to put Mike Leach in a room of truth because God only knows what will come out of that. But you're probably right. You'd be like especially in 2021, if they go to a Florida Bowl, they'll be thrilled.
And it seems a little more challenged in Starkville. Now, here's the thing that I was looking forward to last year, and it's one of the things I actually got right. The offense, I was like, even that opening game against LSU, I was like, guys, what we just saw where he called Gardner Minshew was like, hey, we don't know each other. You want to lead the college football in passing yards? Well, come play for me. I was like, that was year 7 on the Palouse. All right, that was not he showed up, laid hands on the playbook, and suddenly they started scoring 40. I was like, it takes a minute. So even what we just saw against LSU, I was like, I don't think that's real. I was like, you know what's real, though? And this is going to play out throughout the season. Look at his talent on defense. I think if you came up with an all-star team of defenders he coached in Lubbock and at Wazoo, Mississippi State's defense last year had more talent than an all-star team you put together. I was like, that's what's going to be real, and that's what's going to hopefully give him a chance to breathe a second while he gets that offense in gear. They had a great day against LSU, assist to Bo Pelini. And I don't take anything away from Costello or anybody else, but we know what was involved there. By God, we ain't backing up. We're playing man. It's like, all right. But the
offense kind of what happened.
See how that worked. Yeah.
We ain't backing up, and I was like, okay, you ain't got to because the receiver's downfield, so there ain't no backing up. He's in the end zone now. Jersey getting smaller and smaller as it runs away. The offense will come around.
You like where it's headed long-term in Starkville?
I do, absolutely. Like I said, it's going to take a minute. It may be ugly. There may be a 6-interception game. But it's going to work. In fact, like I said, it's going to take a minute. But I know that outcome. I don't know about recruiting in the SEC and continuing to restock that defense. I don't know about that because that's a weird deal. You know what it is? A little different like, Brian Harsin at Auburn. We're going to push the recruiting footprint of Auburn. I'm like, well, you're getting a 3-star tight end from Eugene, Oregon. Go to Anniston and shake the tree. Like 5 better players fall out. What's the value of going out west? I wonder about Leach and the ability to really mine the South, and particularly those years, about every 4 or 5 years, you look at Mississippi. Was it the 18 class?
19.
I was like, God almighty, there's a lot of talent there. Every so often that comes around, and you have to hit that year.
And he seems to be going to Texas to get quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, and that's. I mean,
it's like that Lubbock pipeline.
There's just familiarity there. Yeah,
that works. And I don't think getting a quarterback is ever going to really be an issue for Mike Leach.
Oh no, and again, you can. I don't want to say this in guys starting in the NFL, but a guy who was at ECU because that was the best choice. And I'll give Gardner Minshew credit. Boy, he played that Alabama interest to the hilt, and he got a scholarship at Wazoo, and that got him into the league.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it doesn't matter. I'm going to say that there are more right answers for Mike Leach's offense than there are for some other offenses.
Let's go semi-rapid fire here. More interesting. This is opposite ends of the spectrum. Arkansas or LSU?
LSU. Because that coach could get fired this year.
Okay.
And that thing could turn into the towering inferno. And I'm talking off-field. I'm talking Title IX. I'm talking third rail sort of stuff.
So I was talking with someone yesterday, powder keg at LSU, and if there's no spark, they might win 11.
Oh, yeah.
And if the spark comes, it might be like watching one of those nuclear bomb that hits the ocean and like the big towering mushroom water cloud.
And you're glad it ain't you, but you're just going to watch. Yeah, Durante is going to be better than Bo, but that's just talent. And like I said, I always look, my baseline is I need your production to at least equal the talent. If it doesn't, that means there's a problem either with coaching or upperclassmen. If it takes off, that means you've got good coaching and good leadership from the upperclassmen. LSU, my gosh, that's an All-American team. I'm not even like McDonald's or high school All-American. I'm talking like that's an All-American team. Stingley may be the best returning player in college football. And that secondary was horrid last year. And by the way, Ricks was a freshman All-American. I think Mississippi State has a better pair of corners.
Now?
Yeah.
You can make that argument.
You think that Martin Emerson and
Forbes
are better than Ricks and Stingley?
They played their tails off last
really
year.
Good.
And by the way, give their full – is it Malcolm Emerson?
Martin.
Or Martin Emerson and
Emmanuel Forbes.
Okay. I do football all day, every day, and I had to ask for their first names just for clarification. Those two kids busted their tails last year and were ball hawks, whereas what I saw one state over was, I ain't getting mine.
Yeah.
I need my reps. I need my touches. I need my whatever. And that just, in the SEC, what that leads to, where you got to rally to finish 5-5.
30 seconds. Jerrion Ealy, first team All-SEC, yes or no? When at the end of the year?
Yes, but not how most people. I think he is going to actually be a lot more of a slash slot motion. That's what I think.
He's your AP guy.
Oh, I love him. He's, I think if they've been watching some Texas A&M tape, hey, Aniyah Smith, let's get us one of those.
Yeah. Always good to see you.
I appreciate the invite, brother. Always good.
Chuck Oliver from the Chuck Oliver Show and 6.